Hey guys, I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and as you can see, it's pretty early in Star Stable. The dawn has not yet broken, you know what I mean? When I first woke up, the first thing I thought was, I'm gonna try to go back to bed, but then I couldn't. And then I was like, maybe I could do something productive. Maybe I could actually, for once, post a picture on my Instagram. That would be fantastic. Let's do it. I want to make a few Instagram posts. I haven't done an edit with me on Procreate sort of video in a long time, and I haven't done any since I started my move from PicMonkey to Canva. So I'll take you guys along with me. We're gonna take a variety of pictures in Star Stable. I am hoping to get like anywhere from 1 to 3 Instagram photos prepared and scheduled. Yeah, we're just gonna have a freaking good time. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Okay, because of the rapid release of horses and the fact that I'm pretty busy, I don't have time to post on Instagram regularly. My story I post on a lot, but as far as actual Instagram posts / edits, I don't post in there a ton. So I think the last time I posted on there was, well, it was for my birthday roundup, but the last edit I did was in April, which is, it's fine. Okay, I have some ideas. I think the last edit I did was a Hanoverian, so I'm probably good there. I was looking at my Instagram and I haven't posted any Norikers, I haven't posted a Criollo photo, and I haven't posted any of the mules yet. Let's get out some potential horses that I would like to do. Alright, of all of the Norikers I have, yeah, I kind of want to make a photo with Bronte, so let's do a photo with Bronte. I'm going to be doing a photo with my character with Bronte. I took a minute to peruse my Instagram to just see like what kind of photos I've posted most recently. I think we need just like a full-on summer western bit. Okay, I'm not gonna promise it's gonna be perfect, but okay, you know what? I just had complete inspo and we are changing horses. Evacuate. This is the top I've been wanting to pair this with for a while, so I think this will be fun and different and exciting. Heck yes. Okay, and then we're gonna do some just like basic jean pants. I guess you could just call them jeans. Darn it. I think I'm gonna actually, instead of this top, I'm gonna use this one because it's newer and I really like this. And then these sandals, oh, do they match? I'm just gonna pretend that they match. Okay, I really have been loving this bridle, this one with like the cute little flowers on it. On the headband, the headpiece, whatever it's called. Okay, yes, I really like how this turned out. All right, I changed to this saddle pad that has like the green details on it, which makes it cute and matchy, you know what I mean? I feel like on my Instagram, one of my goals has been to like post at least one photo of each horse, and then I realized that was not even possible, so I'm just trying to at least post of the new horse breeds as they come out, like one horse at least. I don't know, let's just have fun with it. Okay, we need something fresh, something sweet, something summery. We could go to Fort Pinta. Oh wait, you can go straight to Fort Pinta Beach, really? This is incredible news. If you haven't seen any of my edit with me videos, how I take my backgrounds, ooh, this is a pretty area. How I take my backgrounds is I take them separate, like from the horse. So we're gonna take a background photo that's gonna be in the background of the picture. I kind of want to get flowers plus like the umbrellas and stuff, which this is pretty good. So pretty. I don't know if these flowers are new, but I'm really obsessed with them. All right, now we have to do the sad thing. We're gonna chop off Dante's mane because it is ideal if their hair is in braids. And by hair, I mean mane, yes. It just makes sure that I have a nice, easy base to work with. It's definitely possible to do an edit with a long mane, but I'm here for the easy path, okay? We're gonna switch to this terrible Draco Malfoy looking haircut. Oh my gosh, help.
Oh my gosh.
Nichole Summercrest is the place that I found that has the best lighting, at least for now, because Valedale has a really weird tint if you take pictures there, so which I take a few pictures for thumbnails and things like that. Let's just take some pictures and see where we go. I actually really like this already. It'd be cool if I had a picture like from this angle that's like different, Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna stand like this and then I'm gonna take the horse separately. These pockets are not flattering, but we're just gonna pretend it's fine. All right, we're gonna figure this out. All right, welcome to my Canva. Let's set up the background first. I think that this is a good angle because it has a little beach in the corner. That's cool. And we're gonna bring the horse and person character like this. And then let's remove the backgrounds of these photos. This could be really cool. I could make like Rapunzel hair. I can already see it in my head. Okay, let's remove the background of the horse too. This could be nice, but I do have to go in and remove this background that got stuck. Okay, let's erase some of this extra stuff that got stuck onto the photo that was not supposed to be here. I'm gonna draw on new reins, so I'm gonna just erase these ones. All right, that looks a lot better. Now I'm gonna edit the background of the photo. This retro color is very fitting, I feel like, for the festival and stuff. And then we're gonna also blur the background. Cool, I like how that turned out. Now we're gonna play around with creating a shadow. So we're going to play with shadows and stuff with that glitch. Okay, and then it looks like this sleeve actually caught some of the rock in the background, so I have to remove that too. All right, I think everything about this picture is done. Her hand is so messed up. Oh my gosh. This is the Canva edited version, and I'll edit it later on PicMonkey. All right, I kind of want to do a different kind of picture. Okay, we're definitely gonna do this one. So I'm just gonna take a bunch of pictures and we will create a background later. Okay, now let's go to Canva. Okay, I'm gonna do like a sort of not super square but not vertical shape, and I'm gonna load both of the backgrounds in just to switch them out at the end and see which one I like better. Okay, I kind of have them set up in sort of the way I want them. Now I'm gonna just try and resize them so that like the ones that are closer to the pretend camera are bigger, and then the ones that are further away are a little smaller. Also, looking at the different backgrounds with the position of the horses, I think I like this one better as the background. Okay, I think this picture has a lot of potential. I'm gonna just resize things and move things around. Okay, cute. I'm going to edit the background. Wait, this is perfect. I love this filter. Okay, we're going to also blur the background. Oh, that's so pretty. We're going to just create shadows on the mules. Okay, I like how this is set up. It's really cute. I'm gonna download and save this one. Okay, I'm actually like low-key thrilled with how these are turning out. It's exciting because I've never used Canva yet to make an Instagram post, so should be cute. The last horse breed I want to make an Instagram post of is the Criollo. I think I just used Cool Ranch to make a thumbnail. I think I'm gonna do a tackless horse in the background and me, you'll see what I mean. It's gonna be like in a Western corral and the horse is gonna be maybe have a halter. This is the concept. A rope halter would be nice, but I don't know if I have any. Wait, I really like this. Let's keep going. This also looks good because of the red. Let's do that. And then let's do gold accessories. I'm gonna do these sun earrings and these gold hand jewelry. Okay, this is fun. I need to change the halter though. The pink looks terrible. Okay, I think for a picture, this will look really cool. And then I have a concept. Oh, there's a flat here. We're gonna just take a quick background photo, maybe here, and then maybe like this, I don't know. And then we're gonna take a picture of my horse loping for the background. Wait, I feel like I need to know the angle correctly. And since there's not like mane on this side, I don't need to have braids. Right, now we're gonna do a picture of me, and maybe like from the side I can just be like this is a cute angle. Sorry, I'm literally in the middle of a flagell. This is so awkward, but okay, I'm gonna go invisible. All right, I'm gonna try and keep the same size as the more vertical Instagram portrait. Okay, I think I'm gonna like this background better. Yep, this background is doing it for me. Then I have the horse running in the background. We're gonna give him a shadow, and then we're gonna give me a shadow. And since I'm standing in the front, I'll be a little bigger. And then let's do the background of the picture. Okay, this looks kind of cool. I don't know, it looks like reshade, honestly. Kind of like that. My gosh, my alarm to wake up went off finally. I kind of wanted to change the gait to a trot because I think that the canter looks kind of weird on the Criollo, so I'm gonna switch it out and see if that makes it better. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Holy cow. Okay, that makes a big difference. I'm gonna move the horse up so you can see his whole hoof. I'm gonna move my character so she's not so annoying. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Nice. All right, I think this photo's done and ready to be edited. I'm gonna upload these onto my iPad and onto Procreate, and I'm gonna edit from there. Okay, this is me not at 5 a.m. now giving you guys a walkover of me editing on my iPad. Now, I've already edited these on my iPad in silence because I'm not really good at multitasking in this way. I can't edit and talk about it or I'll screw it up. So as you can see, I started out with the hair. I just cover it in a base and I use all of these hair brushes are Nova's braids and I don't know the rest of that word, but that's from Nova Southlights brush pack. And then I wanted to make sure that the cute earrings did not get covered. So I created a new layer and kind of drew over the earring and added some glow brushes on top so that it didn't get covered up by the hair, so that when I drew hair I would still be able to maintain that base of the earring, if that makes sense. Then because the ears and the hair was already kind of like glitched and weird, I decided to fix the ears, draw them in a little bit, and then I began filling in the rest of the hair base. I like to have a good base underneath the hair so that when I layer nice wisps of hair on top it looks fuller and nice. And then I didn't like how the hair was laying, so I decided to draw over where some of the hair was in game so that I could have hair tucked behind her shoulder. So I drew in the skin, used some blending brushes to get a nice airbrushed look. Next I went to work with fixing the hairline because the hairline with Western hats is wild. Ain't nobody's hair look like that in real life. Alright, now I started in with some of the hair layers. This is my favorite brush to do hair. You guys have seen me do this a million times, but basically I started with a dark color, and then of course you've got to erase all of the hair pieces that get on your face and stuff, or then it looks like a piece of crap. And if you look carefully through a lot of my edits, sometimes I upload them accidentally with pieces over my ears and places because I don't check 4 times, and you know, these things happen. All right, then I went in with a lighter gray color just to like create a more layered look, make it look more three-dimensional, gave it some body. The hardest part of hair for me is the ends of the hair. Sometimes it ends up turning out pretty good magically. By some miracle it ends up turning out fine, and then sometimes the hair ends up looking kind of ratchet and I don't know why. There's literally no rhyme or reason to it, but I'm not patient enough to keep trying harder. I just accept as it is. Just like in real life, my hair sometimes looks good, sometimes it doesn't. Actually, looking back, this hair is not as bad as I thought it was when I first did it. So yeah, it was fine. It was acceptable to me. So then I went in and added little wispies, little pieces that make it look a little messy, like a little wind swept, some wavy pieces using different brushes. Most of the brushes and the hair pieces I used today were from Nova Southlights brush pack, which I'll link in my description. I really like these Magic Whisker and Rainy Days brushes, those like single hair strands that are very shiny, because they just give it like a very glowy effect, which I love. All right, and then I decided that the hair looked kind of odd chopped off like that, so I had to add some hair in the back to balance it out. Made it a little bit longer because apparently she has shorter layers in the front and long layers in the back. So I tried to recreate the color palette I'd been using in the front of the hair and it looked fine. It's not my best work, but you know, 3 pictures in one day is kind of a feat, you know what I mean? I toyed around with the idea of doing some sort of braid, and then as you can see, I gave up on that endeavor because it would have looked like crap. There ain't no way I could have pulled it off, but don't worry, stay tuned. There will be braid situations later on in this Procreate edit with me video. Okay, then I accentuated the earrings since the hair was pretty much done at this point, made it very shiny, added pieces of glow to the hair so that it, I don't know, gave it some light. I'm really bad at shading and lighting. I know a lot of artists say this is like the thing that takes the longest for them to figure out, but I am
so freaking lazy. Like, you think I'm gonna think about where the sun is in this photo? I don't. I literally just put it wherever I want, and that is a problem. It is toxic. Don't do what I do. Then of course I gave myself some nice, beautiful magnetic eyelashes. I don't know what kind of eyelashes they are. And then I lightened up the eyes, made them a little brighter. I decided to add some different colors to the eyes. I saw an artist do this on like a draw with me thing that I watched one time, and it seemed to work out well for them. I don't know what the purpose of it is, but it's fun and it looked kind of good, so here we are. And then for like the hand jewelry, I decided to do the same thing as like the gold earrings. I brightened them up, added the glowy brush from Nova Southlight's pack once again, and it ended up looking really good. I thought my character looked kind of cute. So for Cool Ranch, honestly, the only thing that really needed to be done was his forelock, because he has like a roached mane, which I kind of wanted to maintain the roached mane because it looked nice and clean in this picture and I wasn't about to screw it up. So what I did was I made a basic shape just like I do with human hair. I did a basic shape in black so I could see it better, and then wherever the mane was that I did not want to be editing for the photo, I had to color over and kind of blend it out so that it didn't look noticeable in the edit. This is what you have to do basically if your horse has a long mane and you're editing it, but it can get really dicey when the horse has like coat markings. So luckily here, I don't think it's super noticeable. But anyways, I continued on shaping the mane, fine tuning how I wanted the shape to look. And then once the shape was done, I could go in and use that same hairbrush that I literally use for every edit. I love it. And I went in and I created like some individual hair strands to make it look good. It took me a while to figure out the flow I wanted for the mane, and I kept having to erase it and restart, but that's the reality of drawing for me. This is the extent of my art, you guys. It's not perfect and it's not a beautiful thing, okay? And once I went in with like white and black strands and felt like it looked satisfactory and there weren't any pieces that were like wackily sticking out anywhere, I went in and added like the glowy single strands of hair and tried to make some of them wavy, some of them straight, so that the hair looked a little bit more messy, windswept, not too perfect. I used the glowy individual hair strands to make the eyelashes because I do that sometimes on my like cremello or gray horses. It sometimes is kind of cool. And then I brightened up his eyes, added details in his mane, like glowy details that are not related to the position of the sun. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, and then I erased any hair that ended up getting on his face, and once I erased it, it honestly looked not too bad. There was a tiny bald spot on the top with no connection between the hair and his ear, so I filled that in with a little bit of airbrush. I made his eyes a little bit more blue and had a lot of fun playing around with the color, and then added some highlights on his iris. Okay, I know what an iris is. That's crazy. Then I found this beautiful smudge that had somehow gotten on the halter. I couldn't figure it out when that happened, how it happened, so I couldn't even find the layer that it belonged to, so I ended up just coloring over the halter. At this point, I don't even know what the frick that's from. It might be from when I edited it in Canva, TBH. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best. If you don't look too closely, it looks just fine. The last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to fix my belt, because as you can see, half of the belt went suspiciously missing when I put my cherry shirt on. So I decided to try and match the design from the bottom and then kind of go crazy. And the belt buckle ended up not looking too bad, not looking too good, just right, you know? And this is what my picture ended up looking like, my edit. Alright, this next picture, I lost the recording of me recording this on my iPad, so here is a speed edit from Procreate. I started with the braid in the back of the hair because I wanted that to be the feature of this edit. So as you can see, you guys know the drill. That's how I did the hair. I just added layer by layer, added some shading around the braid to make it pop, updated the jewelry to make it brighter, did a little bit on the horse's mane. The forelock was pretty easy, but on the mane, I wanted the mane to be over to the other side, kind of true to the original picture, and then have some straggly pieces of hair and sparkles. And I added a belt because I thought it made the pants a lot less terrible. Sorry for losing the edit, guys. Anyways, on to the next one. All right, now on to our final edit. I decided to head in and tackle the mules. I think this was the hardest edit I did because the mules still had their natural hair and it's pretty messy. So I had to start out by trying to get rid of their mane by blurring different colors into the background around where the mane used to be to set a nice base. The forelock was really challenging. Honestly, the hardest part was tackling the mane that was already underneath the mules, but I did my best. I wanted to keep it authentic to how the mules have very like messy, short, all over the place mane. So I went with a very choppy, messy look. I've never done a mane like this before, so it was really fun to try something new and a new challenge. Basically, just like I do with hair for people and in the previous edits, I started with some thicker pieces, then went in with more details, and then added some shadows in the back, some airbrush in the back to make the mane look a little bit thicker. And finally went in with some details on the eyelashes, and before I knew it, the first mule was complete. Next, I went in with the second mule, and I was trying to figure out how to get rid of the forelock on this mule, how to blend it into the face somehow, because I didn't want to do the exact same shape of forelock on all three mules. I thought that would look kind of weird, but I ended up getting some sort of base on the mule, and I wanted to use a different color palette, not black, but more of like a gray tone. And on this mule, I wanted a couple hairs to stick up to give it a little bit of a variety from the first mule. Then I went in and added some smaller pieces of the mane using different brushes. I love how this mule looks very sassy. And then I added more lighter details. Once I started lightening it up, I feel like it really started to come together and look better. Then I added a little glow pieces to the first two mules, and I moved on to the last mule. This mule was challenging because he had a piece of hair across his ear, which was going to be too hard to draw in, so I decided to work with it. I ended up having a flyaway piece of hair that just matched where the original mane was, and then I drew in some complementary pieces, made his hair a little bit messier, and then I wanted to have a couple single strands that kind of didn't match the way the mane was going, that kind of went off on their own, kind of like the wind would do naturally, just because I felt like at first it kind of looked a little bit too straight. And then I did the little eyelashes, and then they were all done. That's it for the mules. Okay guys, hopefully you enjoyed this Procreate edit with me. Hopefully it was fun to step into the photo taking process with me on SSO, see how I use Canva to get my pictures ready to edit, and how I do my editing process on Procreate. Let me know if you guys want to see more content like this in the future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I'm on thin ice, you'd never guess. I've been hiding a monster, keeping it quiet.